Okay, last video, please ignore the noise outside. They made a hole in front of our neighbors, in front of the neighbors in the road, and it sounds like, I don't know, a Gatling gun or something going off, but it's not. It's not that. It's not a helicopter. It's construction, I guess. I don't know. They just started doing this, and like 20 minutes ago, and they're still doing it. So like, let's finish this video. Let's make this. So the last video is going to be on another GrayStillPlays video. This is again posted on YouTube. This was posted on June 23rd, 2024, and it's called The Sun, but I make it bigger every minute. He doesn't actually make it bigger every minute, but like, it's a catchy clickbait title. So in the game of Universe Sandbox, which is what he's playing here, you can like lock the mass of an object, or you can mess around with all the different features. And so what he did, he locked the mass of the sun, so everything doesn't just immediately get sucked in every time he increases the radius. And he just kept increasing the radius of the sun. And in Universe Sandbox 2, they have this like average temperature versus time passes not grass. God. So it turns out as you increase the radius while keeping the same amount of mass, the temperature and luminosity like decreased. So like, but it was interesting because like at 1.25, 1.5, 2.5, and 5 times radius, of the sun, as he was increasing it by that amount, the average temperature on Earth actually increased. But like after that, it kind of seemed to just level out and just kind of stay the same. Like, don't get me wrong, there were still extreme temperatures. Like, extreme temperature ends were changing, definitely. But like, the average temperature didn't move. Like, it went from like, I think like the average temperature it shows on like Earth on the average is like supposed to be like 7. And then by like, it kind of leveled out at like 20 something. But like, the extremes were extreme. Like, the poles were really, really cold, and like the middle was like very, very hot. But like, an average of like 20 something, which was. Eh. Yeah, but like by 10 times the radius, the color of the sun began to shift to like a deep yellow. And then at 20, it's like a deep orange. And then at 80 times the radius, the normal radius of the sun, it turns blood red, and then it starts losing its color and turning to like a gray, and then dropping down to a surface temperature of around 800 Kelvin. Somehow, the Earth was staying a relatively average temperature, even though the sun physically no longer illuminated the Earth in the visible spectrum. You had to like light it up as like an object in like the game. You had to add artificial lighting like in the game to like see the Earth. And then he went up to 160 times the typical radius of the sun, and it's so dim, but the Earth still has not frozen over or burned up, and you can actually do this thing where you sit on a planet's surface and see, like, the POV looking out at the sun, and, like, the entire sky was just the sun. It was just, it was just, like, this big, like, kind of gray thing in the sky. Like, there was no sky, it was just the gray sun. And then he change it. You can change it by little amounts, like using a little like dial thing. And he changed it to be just like as close as he could get it without it like immediately exploding the earth. Like without like actually making contact with the earth, and he got it as close as he could, and something happened. Um, so the sun immediately shifted into a bright blue color. Bright blue. And the temperature shot up like a rocket. And this is over the course, because he's going to slow down time. This is over the course of like seconds. Over the course of like a couple seconds, maybe a minute, this thing the temperature of this thing shot up like a rocket, well over 400,000 degrees Kelvin. And then the temperature started dropping like a rock again. So it went from bright blue, it went down to white, to orange, to red, to gray. And then the Earth, I guess it finally updated the temperature on the Earth, because it kind of just exploded. It turned bright for like a frame, and then went bye-bye, because he had increased the speed at this point, because he was like, what's going on? The game went by too fast to see, but attempting to increase the radius any further just literally made the sun as an object in the game just cease to exist. The game, I guess, like, the mass ran out or something. But that was still fun. Like, I think it's actually a pretty good look at, we did a worksheet on it. I forget exactly what it was called, but, like, showing how, like, the size of a star interacts with the temperature and luminosity. I think that's really interesting. And, you know, maybe it's not the most professional video, but it's a good video. I recommend it. Okay. I recommend it to anyone who just wants to see the sun messed with. I'm done, I'm free!